Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the channel today. Had my first break on the Losi Hammer Rey, and not too surprising. I've been bashing this thing pretty hard, hitting some jumps in the backyard and driving around a big field and rolling it over a few times and sending it off a bank. You guys check out my shorts feed. You can see some of those videos. But I broke this piece here. Kind of sheared the V off of the servo saver. Completely sheared that off the plastic anyway. But I don't know. I think for what I was doing, it was probably a little rough on it. But we have replaced that with this nice aluminum bell crank. And that did come with this upper servo saver horn that connects down in there. So that part number is Hot Racing LRR 4806. Now this said it was for the Rock Ray and the Baja Ray, but it fit the Hammer Ray just fine. So the installation was a little difficult. I tried to install it without taking this upper brace here all the way off, but I wound up just taking that all the way off. You will have 2 screws there, 2 screws there. There's screws underneath this plastic shock tower. You got these 2 screws here that you will need to re-Loctite with blue Loctite, and these 2 screws, and some screws back in there. And then you take a screw there in the center out, which this is a plastic piece that holds the bell crank up top. And that is a plastic piece that holds the bell crank at the bottom. And you just take that screw out. Also, you have to take the body completely off. And to do that, I had already done that before the install, but you're going to have these 4 screws on this side, 4 screws there, so that's 8. You're going to have 4 screws here. That's going to be 12. You're going to have 2 screws here. 13, 14, 15, 16. These 2 screws here. I just installed those back so I wouldn't lose them or get them mixed up with some of the other screws. But yeah, that's a whole lot of screws just to take the body off. And then counting all the screws that I had to take apart to get to the bell crank was quite a bit. So this cage here is really nice. This little rubber piece here is what you use. You take that off to get to these 2 screws here. I did want to let you guys know that. If you take the body off. But I really like these caged bodies. And I know it's a little extra work with the screws, but as long as you got, electric driver, you can make pretty quick work of all this. And I really like the scale realism. And in all reality, this has been a really durable truck so far. And if that's the only problem I have with it, I'll be super happy. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This part did work, like I said, for the Rock Ray and the Baja Ray. So you guys can pick one of those up. It's pretty good. That's kind of the servo saver moving there. I left it a little bit loose this time, but it being all aluminum shouldn't shear off. But overall, I like it so far. We'll get it out and test it probably later today, and maybe eventually get a review video up. But thank you guys for tuning in.